We live drums.
Hello, my name's Gary France, and this particular video that I'm going to present today is about the height of your drum. Now, of course, all human beings are a little bit different. You know, some of us are tall, some are short, some are younger, okay, some are older. So with drumming, more than many other instruments, pretty much any other instrument, we have to deal with a lot of variables when we're thinking about how high something should be. So for today's video, we're going to talk about the height of the drum and the relationship of the body to the instrument. Okay? Percussion is the only instrument that we do not touch with our hands. In fact, we play everything at the end of a 1-foot club. That's interesting to think about. We're playing our instruments at the end of these 1-foot clubs, okay, you know, and it could be a mallet, could be a stick, could be a beater, but really, we don't get to touch it like a clarinet player gets to touch it. Piano players get to touch it. I know singers have their own challenges because they can't really touch their vocal cords, but in percussion, we're playing this, so we develop what's called the kinesthetic feel, the ability to feel our instruments with our mind and get a sense of control. So the height and how you set up your drum is extremely important, and I think we should go through that right now. Now, in keeping with the height of the drums, we have the stands that hold the drums, and this is super important. So let's talk about that. Snare drum stands come in a variety of shapes and sizes, and snare drum stands could look like something like this. Here what we see is the classic claw stand. It's a 3-part stand that came apart like this, and it forms a claw around our snare drum. Really, it's like a cradle. Our drum, we loosen this like so, and our drum sits inside of the claw like that, and we play it. We can tighten it around. We have many variations, and to adjust the height of this drum stand, we can raise it and lower the stand like so. But of course, we have some challenges here. For example, this particular stand, when I sit down to play, is much too high. You can see that I'm playing up here, and for a little person, this is a real problem because, you know, an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old or even a 7-year-old, down to 3 or 4, they're going to be closer to the ground. So for them to reach up and play a drum like this is a real challenge. Quite often when you're buying a drum kit or when somebody starts playing, they don't think about this, so you end up adjusting your body to the drums. Now, we'll talk a lot more about this when we do a drum set or drum kit, but for now we're talking about snare drum and our relationship of height and our body to the drum. So this particular stand, you know, is not really an appropriate stand for sitting down, okay? For standing up, of course, it would be fine. I can raise it up. I can get it to a height that I want to play at, whether I'm playing match grip or traditional grip. But it's not going to work for playing down low. So we do have a variety of other stands available that will fulfill that need. Here we go. There are parts of the stand. This is basically our base, the base of the snare drum stand, and we open it up so that it's like a tripod. So it'll hold a good amount of weight. Then this particular stand, and I like this one very much, has an extension in it. This extension allows me to place some middle height here, and then I have my cradle, right? Now, if we're just a very young player and we want to play our drum, we can lower this cradle in here, tighten it down. We can set our drum on the cradle. And of course, we can lower this considerably. Isn't that terrific? If you want to stand up and play this drum, we can add our extension, put our drum in here, our cradle in there, and tighten it down, and voila. Even if I'm a basketball player for the New York Knicks, I can get this stand to fit and higher. So the height adjustment on stands, extremely important. Understand that there are products available to fit everybody's needs, and we have to take some time in choosing them. Thank you.
We live drums.